literally talking about hundreds of thousands of angstroms of energy over the actual meats and over the corn and over these heavy dense foods, when you can just eat light and keep that vibrational energy. And the good thing about fruits and vegetables, not only do you build the molecular structure when you eat them, because they replace all the things that you're getting rid of anyway through that recycling that we go through, or what they call cellular mitosis or cellular meiosis or apoptosis, all these big old words. we can just keep it simple.
Right.
You're not only replacing the cellular structure, but you're feeding the soul. And a lot of people don't know how to feed the spirit and the soul. A lot of people are just feeding their flesh. But when you feed your spirit and your soul, it does something to you. It energizes you. Wow. It makes you think more. It makes you become an actual critical thinker. It makes you think about yourself. You start looking around and you want to do more for your environment. Fruit did that to me. Meat never did that to me. Dairy products never did that to me. Correct. Drugs, drinking and smoking never did that. What's crazy is this. I have metal from here to here. I've been shot 4 times. I had my ribs broke. I had my jaw dislocated and fractured. I've been shot 4 times. I've been stabbed right here. I almost died of eternal bleeding. Like, and the reason why I say eternal is because we are eternal people. A lot of people say internal. But I went through all of that. I used to be like really a hater for my brother. You know, I see my brother wearing the wrong thing, or he in my hood doing things that I ain't tell him to do. It wasn't my hood in the first place. Right. Like, I'll be ready to be violent. I was a very violent person against people that look just like me. Did you know after I went vegan, or what I'm gonna say plant-based, man, I ran over a squirrel one day on an accident. Man, I pulled over and cried, man. Oh, the same person that used to be fighting, brawling, getting stabbed. I'm talking about spilling blood. I'm very vicious person to my brother. Man, I went vegan, went plant-based. Man, I hit a squirrel. Man, it broke my heart.
Because you, the thing about that, we can laugh, but in reality, what you're saying is you found a different purpose.
I really did through the food, man. Through the food, showing you that food is psychological. It's psychology, and you can tell. You can sit somebody down in front of me, right? And they can tell me they diseases, and I'm talking about to the T. I can tell you what they've been eating. I can tell you what they've been eating. Soon as they say I got diabetes, I can tell you, oh, okay, you've been on dark meat. Soon they tell me I got breast cancer. Oh, you've been on inorganic meat. You've been on inorganic fruits and vegetables. You eat a lot of dairy products. That's a lot of lactic acid built up. That's a lot of carbonic acid, uric acid built up. You suffering from metabolic acidosis from your diet. Oh, I'm schizophrenic. Oh, your gut is messed up from the foods you eating. You're going through putrefaction in your gut. You have parasites, probably toxoplasma that done passed the blood and brain barrier that you got from your fish. So all of these different type of psychological ailments that we are suffering from, and all these different physical ailments that we suffering from, is literally coming from the food that is being put in the communities by the big food industry. But when you start really studying the big food industry and who owns them, they're actually controlled by the pharmaceutical companies. So it's this rat race, or this cycle, or this matrix that we going through. Let's feed them the food to get them sick. Once they get sick, let's provide them the antidote to make them sicker. Once we provide them the antidote that make them sicker, let them die. And we can make money off their insurance. We can make money off their death. You see that? And our whole population control eugenics program will still be in full effect, because the whole thing is to eliminate 2/3 of this earth. That's the whole plan. And we have, and this stuff is in the documents. These people are saying it themselves, like your Bill Gates, your Henry Kissingers, your DuPonts. You start looking this stuff up, it's in there. They're not even hiding it from us, but we so sedated off of their medicine, or what I like to call witchcraft potions, that they call pharmaceuticals and foods, because now I equate pharmaceutical drugs and big food industry foods. It's the same thing. It's all a drug, and it all have deadly side effects to it. Correct. Once we get off that and we detoxify, we're able to get our consciousness back. And one thing about a black man and a black woman that's conscious, they cannot be stopped. And that's the whole thing. The whole thing was to deindustrialize the schools. It was to break up the black family, snatch the black man out of the household, feed them all of these corruptible foods, take them away from the sun, put them in 9-to-5 buildings, away from the light, because we are children of the sun. Being in the sun heals you yourself. That's how amazing
bro,
the sun is.
I love the sun, bro. I don't even, and let me tell you something. My wife will always say to me, "Oh my God, you always in the sun."
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. When I'm in the sun, it does something for me. And I didn't even know.
I can tell you what it does for you.
I did not know what you was going to say. I just naturally, I don't even know it's some kind of sub code in my head.
Yeah.
I'll be in the sun just laying there like almost like I'm getting my phone charged.
Yeah, because you literally are being charged.
Are
you want to know the science behind it?
Please.
Okay, so for instance, when you look at what the sun is, the sun, let's just look at it like it's simple electricity class.
Okay.
The sun is the source of electricity, and your cells need to be charged up. That's why you have something called a cell phone, and then you have 150 cells that make up your body. So you have a cell phone, and then you have cells in your body. And then when you look at a battery, have you ever seen the name of a battery? It's called an alkaline battery. That's made of what? Cells. If a cell dies in the battery won't start the car.
Absolutely.
If cells die in your body and your body won't regenerate those cells, you die. If your cell phone die, what you got to do? You have to plug it into the source for it can be recharged again, for it can do its daily functioning.
Wow.
The sun is so amazing because if it wasn't for the sun, we wouldn't be here. The sun have literally manifested all things into physical form. The sun is the first thing that created all matter, and it does it through something called terahertz. And these terahertz is basically wavelengths. And when the wavelengths are very, very far apart, that's where you get the infrared from. Then once it get tighter and tighter and it speeds up and the terahertz get higher, that's where you start looking at the rainbow, and it goes through these different color spectrums, right? Wow. Well, check this out. I want to show you how this works. So your body is made of melanin, or what they call melanin, right? And melanin is a superconductor type of material. Not only that, it's a polymer, meaning it buffers out acids, it causes the body to detoxify, and it also holds on to magnetic energy and electrical energy at that. So you have melanin in your body, then you have something called chromophores. And what chromophores is, if you look inside of a cell, because the body is made of 150 trillion cells, inside of the cells you have something called a 6-carbon base ring, or what they call benzene rings. These are chromophores. Then you have amino acids. So the body is made of minerals, the body is made of melanin, the body is made of carbon, the body is made of amino acids, all in water. A bunch of water, and every function in your body require water. So all of these different things, when you look them up, it's something called chromophores. And if you look at what a chromophore is, it's literally an element that holds sunlight. So you have to ask yourself, if the body is made of 150 trillion cells, and out of 150 trillion cells, all 150 trillion cells have chromophores, carbons in them to hold sunlight, then what is the purpose of your body then? It's to hold the sunlight and the information. So then when you start looking at what it's for, every biological process in your body requires sunlight. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Your blood will not flow without these chromophores getting sunlight. So sunlight hits the blood. When sunlight hits the blood, the electrical magnetic frequency folds proteins. When the protein is folded, it gets a signal, and it tells the protein what to do. Whether it's going to go through something called protein synthesis, whether it's going to go through protein mitosis and break down, and then go through apoptosis, and then leave out through your urine or through your poop by defecation. Your awakening and sleep patterns, the way you wake up and go to sleep. When you wake up, the reason why you wake up is because the sunlight, this infrared light, hit the retinas of your eyes, and it actually go through something called melanopsis. The melaninopsis or the melanopsis wake you up because you just had that blue radioactive sunlight in you. Now, as soon as you get up, guess what the sunlight do? You start producing and releasing serotonin. Serotonin is what makes you serious. It brings on your focus. It makes your stomach growl. It makes you hungry. You even your sex is built off of serotonin. How much serotonin and testosterone you have, that's what makes you want to reproduce and repopulate. This is serotonin. Serotonin is made during the night and released during the morning or during the rising. Melatonin is actually made during the day and secreted in your bloodstream during the night. But all of this is based off of the sun.